From the Joanne Mullen Gymnasium in Erie, Pennsylvania, the Eagles Sports Network is on the air. Hi again, everybody, and Happy New Year. It has been so long since we saw you. It was last year that we saw you, and you heard from us in 2021 as the Eagles had a game against Brush High School. I think that was our last broadcast. Adam Mendoza along with you here from the Burger King Classic in Erie, Pennsylvania. Christopher Mendoza running camera tonight, making the trip. And boy, we've got a lot of great things going for you. 2 games in 2 days. The Eagles starting a 5 games in 10-day, 2-week period. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And it is against some very, very good basketball teams. The Eagles come into this game with a 6-2 mark against Philadelphia MCS. They come in at 8-4. And they have lost 3 in a row. They lost to Imhotep 55-48, one of the top teams in the Philadelphia area. And, you know, if you know basketball lore on the playgrounds and in the high schools, Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, they have a great public school league. They have a great Catholic school league. And basketball is just one of the main cogs in the city of brotherly love. For tonight, the Eagles, their first game in 12 days. The last time they played was January 2nd, where they defeated Akron Bucktown 70-69. They were down by 15 points in that game in the play-by-play classic over at Euclid High School. And so they are going to get, they need to get some work in. And boy, will they get that work in the next few days as the Eagles have those games. They'll play the winner of Canisius and Cathedral Prep tomorrow, or the loser, depending on how we do tonight. St. Ignatius on Wednesday, Lutheran East on Friday, and I believe Shaker Heights on Sunday in the Chet Mason Classic. Let's take we had an opportunity to talk with Coach Flannery to get his thoughts about today's game. And welcome to the pregame show. Adam Mendoza along with, yes, it is Coach Eric Flannery. Wow, it's been since last year since I last talked to you.
It's been a while. So we've had a lot of practices since then and one game. So it's nice to see you again.
1 game in 2022 and then 5 games in 10 days. I guess you'll really get a good idea of what this team is all about.
Well, that's the hope. Again, obviously with everything going on in today's world too, just being able to get back to playing games, we're excited about that. The schedule in and of itself, you know, we knew coming into the season that we were going to have a little bit of a quirky schedule. Traveling to Arizona, obviously traveling here, going down to Columbus, going to Toledo. It just turns out that it all kind of, you know, happened in a row. And I guess the good news is once we're back home from this trip, there's not a whole lot of far traveling left on the season. And but to your point, we're excited now because I think in the middle of the season, believe it or not, and again, I'm a big believer in this as a coach, you spend everything that you have during the season to try to be as positive as you can and put something on that. And, you know, our team's been tested. They've been tested with the travel. They've been tested with the behind-the-scenes things that are going on a daily basis. Obviously not getting our football players till late. All of those things kind of combined these last 2 weeks have given us an opportunity to kind of settle in, almost like another preseason, kind of get back to the basics, kind of get in shape a little bit, and now kind of, you know, to your point, we're going to see where we're at and make some more evaluations as we move forward. But you know, having a bunch of games coming up, I think is going to be good for us.
Coach Flannery, when you look at your opponent for tonight, Philadelphia MCS, a big team, they're coming into this game. 3 losses in a row. They just lost to Imhotep, or
Right.
Another Philadelphia school. I mean, when you talk Philadelphia basketball, man, Philly basketball, it's New York and Philadelphia and Chicago.
Yeah, it really is. Obviously, Philadelphia is a rich tradition. We've played a few teams here that have given us fits. They're usually very tough, very physical, great defensive teams that have some solid athletes, and tonight's opponent is no different. They have some size in the middle. They have some great guards. The hard thing to evaluate, obviously, is the talent level that they have, because they have lost some games, but they're playing against some really, really good teams. And so when they lost 3 games in a row, it'd kind of be like us losing to, DeMatha, St. V, and whomever after that in 3 in a row. So you can't evaluate anything based on the record. You can't evaluate them. My whole assumption is they lost a few games in a row. They're going to be hungry tonight, trying to get back on the winning side. And for me, as we've talked about, I think many a times, to me, it's just another test for us against a very talented team, just to kind of see how we stack up and what we need to continue to work on.
The last time we were here was back in 2019. It was a snowy weekend. We ended up staying an extra night here. You played a very good Kennedy Catholic team that had Oscar Sheboy, who is now a stud at Kentucky, and you're coming in against this Philly team that is loaded with height again.
Yeah, I mean, back then, unfortunately, we had beaten that Kennedy team, I think, earlier in the season, so they were really out for revenge the second time. But yeah, tonight we have a similar, issue is the best way to look at it, is that we've got to make sure that we do the best we can on the defensive glass, number one. Keep them off out of the paint, because they do like to get to the paint off the dribble. They got some good guards that can get there. And then obviously trying to protect the rim as they finish. So they do have another 7-footer on the roster that, who knows, maybe dressing tonight. We haven't seen him on film yet, but we've seen him sitting on the bench in his street clothes. So if he ends up playing tonight, obviously it's going to add a few other dynamics to the issue tonight. But once again, Adam, it's I've never been a really big believer in having size. Makes a huge difference unless they're extremely skilled. And I like our guys' opportunity to fight for some rebounds, to work on their grit a little bit tonight, and we'll see how we respond to that.
You look at, it's been 12 days since you last played. You've had all these practices. Are these guys sick and tired of practicing and playing against each other? Yeah,
I know they're sick of me, and I know they're probably tired of competing against each other. We've thrown in the JV a few times just to get different faces and different looks. But like anything, if you're continuing to do stuff over and over again, and when a week, 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago, the game seems so far away in all these practices, I think our guys are just excited to be back on the floor. And yes, I do. I know it's an old thing. I do expect to see a little bit of rust. You can never simulate the game stress. You can never simulate the conditioning it takes in a game. You can run all you want in practice, but the mental exhaustion that sometimes comes in, the traveling, all that stuff, you got to deal with that a little bit. So we got to take that in consideration, and also understanding win or lose tonight, we play again tomorrow night. So hopefully our bench can contribute.
This is the 8th time that you're here, and it seems like you still have the same host family year after year that you come to this Burger King Classic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was thinking about that a little bit today. One, on their behalf, Heath has been our host for I think the last 5 or 6 times we've been here, and just to see, I think we knew him when he had no kids, and now he's got 3 boys, 2 of which are with us this evening. So it's just amazing to see that growth of those guys. And what kind of goes through my head too is like our own fan. You see Christopher, who's now a freshman at St. Ed's. He's here working with you. It's pretty cool to see. And I remember when my kids were coming to this, when they were sitting on the end of the bench as ball boys and then playing in this, and now they're gone and they could probably care less about what's going on. So, and then obviously, you got Pete Lakovic here with a former player of mine who his son Petey is now in that situation. So you don't want to say it's come full circle because we're not at the end yet, but it's kind of cool to see. It's sad in some ways because it means you're getting old and you've been doing this a long time, but it's also really nice that, 1, I'm still able to do what I do, 2, to be able to have the families and the people around that have been around for a long time, and to see them seeing it in a different light and enjoying it a little bit differently. So all of those things are all part of the experience, and that's why we love coming here.
Coach, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
All right, tonight we got senior Michael Bova starting at the 1, senior Miles Reynolds starting at the 2, senior Jair Knight starting at the 3, senior Zion Freer-Brown starting at the 4, and junior Cameron Grant starting at the 5.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you, Adam.
Sean Dennis, Coach Pine. This is their first trip to the Classic. Starting at guard, the 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Asim Murtaugh. Starting at guard, the 6'1" junior, number 4, Chauncey Presley. Starting at guard, a 6'3" senior, number 1, Trent Middleton. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 3, Jair Knight. And starting at forward, a 6'9" senior, number 25, Khalif Crawley. And now from St. Edwards, the Eagles enter a record of 6 wins and 2 losses. They're coached by Eric Flannery. He's assisted by Jim Flannery, Pete McCormick, TJ Gallagher, and Todd Donaldson. This is the 8th appearance for the Eagles, who were the Classic champions in 1997, 2007, and 2015. Starting at forward, a 6'7" junior, number 11, Cam Grant. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior, number 1, Michael Bola. Starting at guard, a 6' senior, number 2, Miles Reynolds. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Jair Knight.
And there you have the player introductions as we get ready for the 2022 Burger King Classic. As Max Prep says, this is the best 14 tournament in the country. The Eagles will be in their home white uniforms. It'll be Bova, Reynolds, Knight, Cam Grant, and Zion Freer-Brown. For the Elephants of MCS, Trent Middleton, Jaheim Bethia, Chauncey Presley, Asim Burton, and Khalif Crawley. Crawley at 6'9", has been looked at by a number of Big Ten teams, Pitt, Penn State, Maryland, and Georgetown over on the East Coast, as this 2022 game is underway here, and it'll be MCS with a basketball in the dark uniforms with the white numbers going right to left as you look at it. They'll work the weave way out on top as we are the first 15 seconds of this quarter here at the Burger King Classic in Erie, Pennsylvania. Eagles playing some good, tough defense as that ball goes into Crawley. Crawley trying to work it inside the paint. Grant getting a good defense. Zion Freer-Brown coming up with a rebound. Here come the Eagles left to right. Reynolds with the basketball. Back to Zaire. He comes in with a 3, in and out, no good. Loose ball picked up. Bova in the paint, stops from 5, can't get it, gets his own rebound in the tall timbers, puts it up again and can't get it. There's that rust that we are talking about that could be hindering the Eagles this evening. MCS getting it back out to Crawley. He'll work it to the right side. He'll go in. That bounces off the rim. Reynolds comes up with the rebound down to Z. Z goes in for the easy layup in his first 2 points. As Zion Freer-Brown comes in averaging 6.8 points a game, and the Eagles take a 2-0 lead with just about a minute and 10 seconds into this contest. Bova is on Bethea. They'll work it up top of the circle. Little handoff on that right wing over to Presley. He'll drive, he'll throw it up, and it goes in. Presley with his first 2 points of the game. Game knotted at 2. Cross-court pass over to Reynolds. His 3 ball dances off the rim. No good, and here come the Elephants. The Pachyderms coming down, kicking it into the corner. There's Presley. His 3, no good. Rebound by Miles Reynolds. Eagles coming up left to right. Reynolds in the lane, putting it up. He got the basket, and he's going to go for a 3-point play as Miles Reynolds with 2, and he got fouled. And the foul. And the foul is on Trent Middleton, his first of the game. Reynolds at the free throw line, 80%. Misses that one. Eagles leading it 4-2. Down the floor to Miles Reynolds, gets the layup. Oh, he can't get the bunny. Cam Grant trying to strip it away, and we got a jump ball situation. Easy bunny shots for the Eagles, not falling for St. Edward. 5:59 remaining in the opening quarter. They have a 4-2 lead. Coming into the ball game is Isaiah Griffin. Checking out will be number 4, Chauncey Presley. Griffin averaging 4.5 points a game. Eagles on the inbound baseline right. Bova to trigger. Bova inside the Z. Brown coming in with his 4th point of the game. And the Eagles take a 6-2 lead. Zion Freer-Brown with 4 points. Down the floor is Burton kicking it under to Griffin, and his shot is up and go to make that Crawley. And Crawley gives MCS as they cut the lead to 6-4. Now that shot doesn't go by Cam Grant. Here comes MCS after they get the loose ball. Double team in the backcourt. Stolen by Miles Reynolds on a good play. Off the window and in. Miles Reynolds with 4 in the game, and the Eagles lead at 8-4. 5:18 remaining in the opening quarter. Eagles putting in some pressure. Into the forecourt on the double team. Cross-court pass. Working it up the middle is Middleton, getting it into the corner to Griffin. His 3 is good. Isaiah Griffin hits the 3. An 8-7 lead with 4:55 to go. Eagles averaging 69 points a game. Meanwhile, MCS averaging 61.9. Eagles working to weave on that outside. Reynolds thought about the 3. He'll back it off, getting it to Michael Bova. Rebounding, this MCS team averages 35.6 a game. Now there's Knight's 3, doesn't go. Loose rebound is picked up by Burton, stolen by Jair Knight, and he comes up with his first 2 points of the game. And it's a 10-7 St. Ed's lead with 4:21. Elephants of Philadelphia math, civics, and sciences take a timeout here in this first quarter of play. A little bit shaky for the Eagles here in the first quarter. Some easy shots that they should have made didn't fall, but they are getting turnovers. They are putting pressure on the MCS squad in that backcourt, and they have been able to come up with a number of turnovers and turning those into points so far early on in this first quarter of play. Now, when you look at Philadelphia MCS, they were 15-8 last year. They made the state semifinals in Pennsylvania. Since 2011, this team has won 2 states, and they've been to the Final Four 4 times. It's a very good program coming out of the Philadelphia area. Actually, all the teams that are playing in the Burger King Classic this weekend recently have won state titles. Canisius in Buffalo, New York. MCS in Pennsylvania, as that pass underneath goes in. Missed bunny shot. Ball picked up, and it's going to stay with MCS. And then you look at Cathedral Prep, which they won a state title in basketball. So some really good basketball teams here in this Burger King Classic here at Erie Prep High School. MCS with a basketball. Bethea, or make that Trent Middleton driving the lane, stopping from 14, got double teamed. Cam Grant comes up with the rebound off to Reynolds, right side in the lane. Nice move, but it was partially blocked by Burton. Now the ball underneath. Zion Freer-Brown ripped it away like a football, like he is a linebacker. And Zaire Freer-Brown has 6 in the game, and the Eagles take a 12-7 lead. Now coming down the floor, driving, looking for Crawley. That one doesn't go. Crawley comes up with the rebound, lost it. Ball's up in the air. Who's got the hot potato? And it is MCS. Shot missed. Crawley comes back. He can't get it. Tries to get it back up. Stolen away by Jair Knight. Off to Bova. Bova in the lane, putting it up with the floater and good. His first 2 of the game. Bova averaging 20, his first 2 tonight. And the Eagles double up Philly MCS 14-7. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Inside the paint to Middleton, down to Crawley. He'll ram that one home. Crawley with the dunk, cuts the lead to 14-9. Ball on the floor, Brown with it, over to Jair Knight. His 3, in and out of the rim, no good. And Zion Freer-Brown with the putback and in. He's got 8 first quarter points, and the Eagles take a 16-9 lead. Now the return shot, Brown with a rebound. Brown playing on both sides of the floor, coming up the middle, has to watch out for the trailing defender. Reynolds from the NBA three, bingo! Miles Reynolds with 7 points. The Eagles lighten it up in the first quarter as they have a 19-9 lead with 2:23 to go in the opening quarter here at the Burger King Classic. We will take a quick timeout right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Transparent upfront pricing.
Only at Joyce Buick GMC.
The price you see is the price you pay.
No fine print or hidden fees.
Choose the model and options you want.
Pick your color from our large selection of Buick and GMCs.
And that's why we say,
Drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC, Chester Road, Avon.
Welcome back to the Joanne Mullen Gymnasium at Cathedral Prep Villa High School. The Eagles jumping out to a 19-9 lead over Philly MCS. 2:23 remaining. The defense getting a lot of hands and causing a lot of turnovers. Turnovers in the game a lot for Philadelphia MCS on the year. They're averaging 12 a game. Zion Freer-Brown with 8 first quarter points. He's been doing it on both ends of the floor. They've hit a couple of threes with Miles Reynolds hitting that big open three as St. Ed's leading it by 10. Another big man going down. Here comes Middleton on the corner, left side, driving it in as Presley, and the foul is called on St. Ed's, and the foul will be called on Miles Reynolds. His first foul of the ball game. First team foul for St. Ed's. It'll be an inbound being triggered by Trent Middleton, who had 17 points in MCS's last game. Trying to get it to another big man. That is Hadir Boswell, and he gets called with the charge. And that'll be a basketball going to St. Ed's as the foul is on Boswell, his first. That's the second team foul for Philadelphia MCS. Reynolds with a basketball. Nice back cut over by Bova. Kicks it out. Danny Lavelle into the game along with Dayon Solomon. Reynolds trying to work the weave up top. Grant getting it on the right wing in front of the MCS bench. Ball lost on the floor. Scramble picked up by Trent Middleton. He'll back it off, now bringing it over the timeline, right side, pass over to Presley. He'll stop from 10, he'll put it up, no good, too hard. Grant with the rebound, baseball lead pass over to Bova. Left of the lane, going in, Euro step basket, it's good. Bova with 4, 21-9, St. Ed's with the lead. Right now, Eagles looking very good as that ball was thrown away but picked up by Presley. Presley driving, bounce pass over to Griffin. Now they work it up top, underneath, a block by Cameron Grant. Oh, what a play. Here come the Eagles, left to right. Bova again, Euro step basket off the window is good. Bova with 6, 23-9 with 51 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Eagles jumping out to a huge lead. Now the ball into the corner. There's a charge once again. The charge on Middleton, his second of the night. Jair Knight checking back into the game for St. Ed's. Cameron Grant comes out. No points for Grant, but has done a lot on the floor for the Eagles. Eagles getting a lot of turnovers tonight. Causing them and getting points off the turnovers. They got to keep the intensity up here as we head towards the latter end as that ball went inside, and they're going to say it is last touch by St. Ed's as Jaheim Bethea checks in for the Elephants of Philadelphia MCS. Down to 29 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Eagles up 23-9. Bethea driving, heavy pressure defense, passing it off. Little 10-foot floater doesn't go. Ball loose up in the air, picked up by one of the smaller guys. And the ball last touched out of bounds by Danny Lavelle as Hamid Sneed got his shot off, but it bounced off the back of the rim. 14.5 seconds to go. Adam Mendoza along with you on the Eagles Sports Network. After this game, it'll be Cathedral Prep against Buffalo Canisius. The winners of this game plays the winner of that game tomorrow night. Losers play in the consolation game. Eagles last here in 2019 and went 1-1. 8 seconds to go. Corner shot, good defense there. Shot is up, no good. Ball loose in the air. And it'll be St. Ed's basketball with 1/10 of a second remaining. Dayon Solomon being told to tuck in the shirt as he gets ready to toss it in, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. One quarter is in the books. St. Ed's leading it 23-9 here at the Joanne Mullen Gymnasium in Erie, Pennsylvania. We will take this time out on the Eagles Sports Network.
The St. Ed's Alumni Association is once again proud to sponsor the live stream broadcasts of your St. Edward Eagles. The Alumni Association acts as a liaison between alumni and the school while fostering moral, spiritual, and financial support for the continued growth of St. Edward High School. Together, we are St. Ed's.
Well, after one quarter of play, the Eagles really doing a number on Philadelphia MCS with a 23-9 lead as St. Ed's utilizing tons of pressure defense and turnovers to get those points off turnovers. St. Ed's leading it 23-9. We want to thank you for joining us here on the Eagles Sports Network. Happy New Year. This is our first basketball broadcast of the new year. The hockey team just south of us for this weekend in Meadville for a great MLK tournament in Meadville, Pennsylvania. They always make that trip. So the Eagles, leading scorer in the first, Zion Freer-Brown with 8, Miles Reynolds with 7, Michael Bova with 6. Philly MCS with a basketball in the dark uniforms going right to left. Bova is on Bethea. On the bounce pass to the outside, there's a steal. Good defense once again by the Eagles. Dayon Solomon in the corner to Reynolds. 3-ball, sideline, rims out, no good. And out of bounds, going down hard is Solomon and the Elephants of Philadelphia MCS getting the basketball. Eagles now putting a little bit of pressure. Bova now will get some help. Cross-court pass. We'll get it back off to Bethea. Trying to work it against Bova in the paint. Stops with the left-hander. Doesn't go. 2 Eagles right there to come up with the rebound. There's Bova on the outlet. Coming in. Oh, he got away with the walk but missed the layup. Gets his own rebound. Kicking it in. Trying to get it to Jair Knight. And Knight will get a foul in the backcourt. His first of the ball game. That is the Eagles' second foul of the ball game. Danahy getting ready to check in. He comes in for the Eagles as Solomon checks out. So it'll be Danahy, Brown, Bova, Lavelle, and Jair Knight for St. Ed's. Underneath, Crawley going in, kisses it off the window easily as he picks up his 6th point of the game. 23-11 with 7 minutes to go in the first half of action. 1 minute in the second quarter. Danahy in the paint, stops from 14, front of the rim and in. Danahy with his first 2, averages 3.4 a game, and he gets his first bucket coming off the bench for Coach Eric Flannery. Eagles at 6-2 on the year. Inside to the big man, Khalif Crawley. Ball picked away by Danny Lavelle. Lavelle getting it off to Zion Freer-Brown over the left side to Danahy. Danahy kicking it up top. Brown, 3, got it! As Brown with 11 on the night. That is the Eagles' second 3-pointer of the game. That shot doesn't go. Crawley gets the loose rebound. bodies all over the place. They kick the ball out over to Presley. Presley driving the baseline, got cut off. Good defense by the Eagles tonight with 6 minutes to go. Inside the paint, that one doesn't go. Another jumper missed. And here comes the Eagles left to right. Lavelle to Brown. Brown on the year, 67% from three-point range. That three doesn't go. Rebound by Crawley, kicking it out quickly over to Poplar. Poplar is going to get called with the charge. That's the third charge against Philadelphia MCS on the night. As we said, MCS coming in with an 8-4 mark as Cam Grant checking back in along with Miles Reynolds. Eagles will have the basketball with 5:43 remaining in the opening half of play. Reynolds will have the basketball. They'll face some pressure. 2-2-1 zone press. Inside to Brown. Brown driving it. Danahy left sideline. Got it! Danahy from three. He's got 5 in the ball game. Third three-pointer up for the Eagles. That one is blocked by Jair Knight. Here comes Cam Grant, the big man, tumbling down the floor. He stops, lost the ball, off to Knight, left of the lane, finger roll, can't get it, gets his own rebound, misses it. Here comes Philly MCS, and a foul in the backcourt. Jair Knight getting called with the foul. That's his second. 31-11. Eagles up by 20 with 5:08 to go in this first half of action. Checking into the ball game is Brian Flannery, the 6'3 senior. Jair Knight checking out. So on the floor, Danahy, Reynolds, Flannery, Cam Grant, and Zion Freer-Brown. Eagles up 31-11. They've held Philadelphia MCS to just 2 points in this second quarter. On the drive, that bucket doesn't go. There is a lid on this side of the floor for Philadelphia MCS. Grant over to Brown, right side, working it to the baseline of Flannery up top. Cam Grant, NBA three. That one almost stuck on the back of the rim. And here comes MCS, right to left. On the move is Middleton. He'll stop inside the paint, getting the pass underneath, and the basket is hit by Asim Burton, his first 2 of the game. The 4th point of the game for Philadelphia MCS in the second quarter. That floater by Miles Reynolds gives him 9 on the night. 33-13. Coming up the floor, Middleton up the middle, misses the shot. Danahy rebounds, saves it from going out of bounds. Here comes Z on a 4-on-2. Left side, Cam Grant, 3, wing, in and out, no good. Khalif Crawley coming up with a big rebound. Crawley on the year, averaging 8.2 rebounds a contest. Now an outside 3 by Burton is short. Eagles, Cameron Grant, who averages 6 rebounds a game, getting another board for the Eagles with 3:42 to go. In the opening half, they're up 33-13. That 3 is hit by Zion Freer-Brown. He is in fuego, my friends. 4 3-pointers for the Eagles, and Zion Freer-Brown with 3 of them in the game. And a beautiful drive by Bethea, his first 2 of the game, and it cuts the lead down to 36-15. Only 6 points scored in this quarter by Philadelphia MCS. That 3 dances off the rim into the corner, picked up by the Elephants. Here they come, chugging down the floor. Here's Middleton, stopping in the lane from 10, overshoots the basket. Grant with the rebound. He's going to bring it up, getting it over to Miles Reynolds, right of the lane. He'll back it off. Ball got knocked off of him, loose on the floor, picked up by Grant. Grant over to Danahy. Danahy had the open 3, but passes it up top with 2:44 to go in the opening half. Reynolds will get the basketball to start it off at the point. He'll be guarded by Bethea. 36-15, St. Ed's with the lead. Zion Freer-Brown with 14 points in the game. Danahy in the lane, on traffic, underneath on a nice dish. Great assist by Danahy, the basket by Zion Freer-Brown. He's got 16 on the night. Eagles leading it 38-15. 2:13 to go in the first half. Middleton crashes into Reynolds, no call, on the baseline. That shot doesn't go. Good defensive block, but stolen, and the easy bucket is hit by Burton, who picks up his 4th point of the game. 38-17, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Miles Reynolds easily gets in, but misses the bunny layup. MCS with it. Down the floor, getting it into Middleton. Middleton in the paint. He'll stop from 5. Stops, turns, short. And it'll stay, as they said, Brian Flannery last touched the basketball. Bova, Lavelle, and Ryan Hargett getting ready to come into the game, along with Dayon Solomon checking in. Miles Reynolds staying on the floor. 1:36 to go. Crawley with it, the big man in the paint, trying to muscle his way on the double team, kicking it out over to Griffin, who hits a big 3. Griffin with his 2nd 3 of the game, and he has 6 on the night, 38-19. Lavelle trying to work it inside. Defense getting stepped up a little bit by Philly MCS. Reynolds on the drive over to Bova, putting it up off the window and in. Bova with 8 points in the game, and the Eagles lead it by 18 with 64 seconds to go, or make it a 20-point lead, 40-20. Inside the paint, and a blocking foul will be called on St. Ed's. The foul is on Ryan Hargett, the junior at 6'4", getting his first foul of the ball game. 56.8 seconds to go. Leading scorer for the Eagles, Zion Freer-Brown, with 16 points in the first half. At the free throw line will be Jaheim Bethea, 2 points for him. A 34% free throw shooter, and bricks that one. Checking back in, Hadir Boswell. Bethea averaging 6.3 points a game, 5 rebounds, and again a 34% free throw shooter. Clanks that one off the back of the iron. Lavelle coming up with the rebound, averaging just under 4 rebounds a game. Bova in the lane, kicking it out over to Reynolds. Reynolds right side, Solomon back to the left. Good ball pass out on top. That one off the back of the window, no good. Rebounded, loose ball picked up by Philly MCS. Bethea behind the back, lost it, but right to his teammate, whose shot does not go. Shot missed by Boswell. Reynolds will look up at the clock with 25 seconds to go. Eagles up by 20, 40-20. Reynolds being hounded there. Now to get it to Bova with 13 seconds. Bova in the forecourt with 8. Trying to get a high pick, spins in the lane, stops at the elbow, gets the shot, can't get it to fall. Hargett puts up a shot, that one doesn't go, and we go into the halftime break with the Eagles leading it 40-20 as Philadelphia MCS outscored 17-11 in that quarter. At one point, they didn't get their 4th point of the quarter until midway through quarter number 2. And coming up in just a moment will be the Accurate Group halftime report. We'll take this time out on the Eagles Sports Network.
Transparent upfront pricing.
Only at Joyce Buick GMC.
The price you see is the price you pay.
No fine print or hidden fees.
Choose the model and options you want. Pick your color from our large selection of Buick and GMCs.
And that's why we say, drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC, Chester Road,
The St.
Avon.
Ed's Alumni Association is once again proud to sponsor the live stream broadcasts of your St. Edward Eagles. The Alumni Association acts as a liaison between alumni and the school while fostering moral, spiritual, and financial support for the continued growth of St. Edward High School. Together, we are St. Ed's.
Sit back and just let everything happen. Like, nah, I'm gonna step up and make it happen.
I think Ed's does one of the best jobs around of allowing a person to make their own path. If you want to be an individual that has an impact in this community, you have all the resources to do so. Wow, this place wants me to be something great.
Get outfitted in the latest Eagles gear at the St. Edward High School Bookstore, located in the lobby of the main school gymnasium. The St. Ed's Bookstore offers everything from jackets for upcoming fall football games to gifts for this holiday season. The St. Edward High School Bookstore is open every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. or shop online at www.sehs.net. Show your support for the Eagles by sporting your St. Ed's gear at every game.
And welcome back to the Joanne Mullen Gymnasium here in Erie, Pennsylvania. After one half of play, St. Ed's leading it over Philly MCS 40-20. It was 23-9 at the end of the first quarter, 40-20 at the half. St. Ed's outscoring Philly MCS 17-11, but their first 4 points didn't really come to almost halfway through period number 2. The Eagles using some great defense in the first half, getting points off the turnovers, really causing a number of turnovers against this Philly MCS squad. I'm sure Tim Smith is watching back home, and he's taking those notes very, very effectively and watching our contest tonight as the Eagles. We'll take a look at the scoring for Philadelphia MCS. Isaiah Griffin with 6. He has 2 3-pointers in the game. Khalif Crawley, the big man, at 6'9", with just 6 points in the contest. Asim Burton with 4. Chauncey Presley with 2. Jaheim Bethea with 2 in the game for 20. The Eagles, Michael Bova with 8 in the game. Miles Reynolds with 9. Jair Knight with 2. Brock Danahy with 5 with a 3-pointer in the first half. And the leading scorer for the Eagles is Zion Freer-Brown with 16 points. And he has 3 3-pointers in the first half of action. He, at one point, was in Fuego, nailing 2 threes in a row. So the Eagles lead it 40-20. The winner will play in the championship game tomorrow night. The loser in the consolation game at 6 o'clock here in Erie, Pennsylvania. As we said, this is my second trip to the Burger King Classic, where the Eagles are 10-4 in the Burger King Classic. They've won it 3 times, and they have 4 third-place finishes. So one of the storylines that we were looking at for the Eagles tonight, a big test. Do they have the stamina, and do they have that rust factor? And I'll tell you, the Eagles at times showed a little bit of rust on those short bunny shots. The stamina's doing well. Defensively, they are just all over Philadelphia MCS, causing a number of turnovers, and a lot of turnovers in the backcourt, which turned in 2 points. That is huge for Coach Flannery and his squad, and they just have to keep their foot on the pedal and keep it going. No time to relax with a 20-point lead against this team from the city of brotherly love. The Eagles coming in at 6-2. As we said, the hockey team is in Meadville. Just got word that the wrestling team is in Michigan this weekend, so lots of action for Eagle Athletics coming in. And if you not a fan, or you don't subscribe to Twitter or whatever, the OHSAA said that they made 2 new sports, they certified sports for the state championships. One of them is boys volleyball, the other girls wrestling. So St. Ed volleyball players, you've got something to shoot for. They have won a state title with the Ohio High School Volleyball Association. So now they can really shoot for the highest of heights in the state of Ohio, as boys volleyball in the spring has been sanctioned as an OHSAA sport. Really good for all the young men that play volleyball in the state of Ohio, as well as the young ladies who wrestle. More and more are wrestling in the state of Ohio, and it's good that the state has said yes to those. Now we just got to get the state of Ohio to say yes to a shot clock. Will they ever do it? We will find out. You know, Coach Flannery is a big proponent of the shot clock, and there are a lot more coaches in Northeast Ohio that are saying, yes, we need the shot clock. There are other states that have the shot clock around the country. I know St. Ignatius played in a tournament in California during the holidays, and they played with the shot clock, and Coach Drew Joyce was really in favor of that. And speaking of St. Ignatius, we'll have the Eagles and the Wildcats from Sullivan Gymnasium coming up on Wednesday night. We're going to take our final timeout of halftime here on the Accurate Group Halftime Report. We'll take this timeout on the Eagles Sports Network.
At St. Ed's, students are empowered to grow in their faith, achieve personal excellence, make lifelong friends, and fulfill the virtues of student leadership. No matter who you are, you'll always be empowered to be your best at St. Edward High School. For more information about fall open houses, shadowing programs, and admission testing, contact the Office of Admissions at 216-521-2204.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the podcast, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
The St. Ed's Alumni Association is once again proud to sponsor the live stream broadcasts of your St. Edward Eagles. The Alumni Association acts as a liaison between alumni and the school while fostering moral, spiritual, and financial support for the continued growth of St. Edward High School. Together, we are St. Ed's.
And welcome back to Erie, Pennsylvania, as the Eagles back on the floor for the first half warm-ups, as they lead it 40-20. Zion Freer-Brown leading the first half scoring for St. Ed's with 16 points. As you could tell, he's now in basketball mode, and he was actually ready for basketball as soon as the state championship was over for the St. Edward Eagles. And a number of players getting some time in on the floor as St. Ed's leading it 40-20. Storyline for the second half: can the Eagles keep up the pressure against Philadelphia MCS? They did a great job of that in the first half. They cannot let up here in the second half. No time to get lackadaisical. They know what happens. They were down by 15 against Akron Buchtel, and they came back, so anything can happen. You just got to keep the pedal to the metal and keep going down the floor and playing your best basketball. Coach Flannery giving his final instructions over to his players as referee saying, gentlemen, let's get on the floor and play a second half of basketball. Coming up after this, it'll be Canisius and Cathedral Prep in the second game of the Burger King Classic. 8 minutes are on the board. The Eagles will send out Bova, Jair Knight, Cam Grant, Miles Reynolds, and Zion Freer-Brown, who's clapping along to Queen's We Will Rock You. Eagles will be going right to left as we look at it in their home white jerseys. Philly MCS will send out their starters: Middleton, Bethea, Presley, Burton, and Khalif Crawley. Eagles will have the basketball to start the second half of action. It'll be Jair Knight on the inbound. 40-20, and we are underway for the second half in the opening game of the Burger King Classic for 2022. Zion Freer-Brown posting up high, getting it to Bova. Now the double team, open Brown, going in, kicking it out to Miles Reynolds. His three, in and out, no good. Ball loose, picked up, and it's going to be off St. Ed's, and Philly MCS will have the basketball. 17 seconds gone in the opening of this third quarter of play. Bethea with a basketball, Bova on him. Trying to work it into the left forecourt. Looking to go on the high pick. Bethea in at the foul line, passing it to the right base. There's Presley trying to make a move inside, throwing it up. Off the rim, no good. Loose ball picked up by Reynolds. Reynolds up the floor. He'll stutter step over to Bova. Bova fakes the three, driving the lane, putting up, and got fouled. Bova hits the deck hard, but the foul is on Philly MCS. And the foul will be on Chauncey Presley. That's his first foul of the ball game. That'll send Michael Bova, the 6'1 senior, who's going to Bellarmine University, has 8 points, 69% from the stripe, and he missed that one. The Eagles are 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Second free throw for Bova. Tickles the twine. Bova with 9. Eagles are 1 of 3 from the free throw line tonight, 41-20. Middleton in the corner. They work it up top to Burton. Burton will float it up. No good. Cam Grant coming up with another rebound. Beautiful in and out pass as the shot by Bova doesn't go. Jair Knight had a putback jam, but he couldn't get it to fall, and Cameron Grant comes up with his first 2 of the night, and the Eagles lead it by 23. And a steal. Bova, stutter step, off the rim and in. Bova with 11 in the game. 45-20 as the lead balloons to 25. Eagles on a 5-point run to start the third quarter. Kicking it out, Crawley, 3. Oh, the big man, 6'9", hits the 3. He has 9 in the game. Jair Knight the other way gets the basket. 47-23, St. Ed's with the lead. Presley, partially blocked, but still goes in, and Presley to go quick. Had the ball stripped, and it'll stay with the Elephants of Philly MCS. Adam Mendoza along with you on the Eagles Sports Network. Glad to have you along on this early Friday night of high school basketball action from Erie, Pennsylvania. The Burger King Classic here at the Joanne Mullen Gymnasium. 47-25, St. Ed's with the lead. Philly MCS with a basketball. Bethea trying to drive in. Here's Reynolds, and he gets called for the carry. Tried to go from the left to the right, and called for the carry, and that'll be a turnover for St. Ed's. .540 remaining. Ball on the outside. 3 is hit by Isaiah Griffin. His third 3 of the game. That one doesn't go. Ball loose, picked up by Zion Freer-Brown. 47-28 our score. Knight open 3. Nope. Off the back of the scoreboard, and it'll be turned over to Philly MCS, coached by Lonnie Diggs. Crawley with it, at the free throw line. 16-foot jumper doesn't go, tapped up loose. There's that height that Coach Flannery was talking about as Isaiah Griffin comes up with the putback, and it's a 47-30 lead. The Eagles getting outscored as that shot does not fall. It must be something with this rim on the left-hand side, as that one can't go. Rebound no good. Grant with the putback, can't get it to fall. The basket on the left is trouble for teams. 47-30, 17-point lead. Philly MCS on the drive, kicking it out over to Jeff King. His three doesn't go. Now the offensive rebounds are picked up. Crawley open, three, no. Rebound by Zion Freer-Brown. Long lead pass to Bova. Bova has Cam Grant underneath with the basket, and he got hammered. The foul on Philly MCS will be on Crawley. His first of the game. The Eagles with just 7 points, getting outscored 10-7 in this third quarter of play. Cam Grant at the free throw line, a 50% free throw shooter, averaging 7.1 points a game. Grant, the 6'7" junior, with 2 points on the night. Official doing a little mop-up job on the baseline to our left. 4:19 remaining in the third quarter of play. Cam Grant hits the free throw. 3 points for him. Eagles 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Crawley checks out of the ball game. Hadir Boswell checks in. Crawley 9 points in the game with also a big three-pointer. Cam Grant too hard off the iron. Ball loose, picked up by Isaiah Griffin, and here come the Elephants, left to right. Jaheim Bethia with the basketball. Getting a high pick, driving left side of the lane. He'll stop with the left-hander, tried to get his own rebound, and the rebound is picked up by Brevin Coleman. Coleman off to Lavelle, back to Coleman as he'll bring it up over the timeline, through the center circle, working it right side, looking for that high pick. Bova getting it on the wing. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. Got his pocket picked. Here comes Philly MCS on a 2-on-2. Griffin driving the lane. The ball got picked away by Dayon Solomon. Off to Lavelle. Lavelle has Bova. Three from the sideline. No good, and a tap in, and they're going to call it no. Basket interference by Cam Grant as he got up and put it back in. If this was international basketball, that would have counted. 3:30 to go, 48-13, Eagles up by 18. Poplar checking into the game, Nair Poplar. King with a basketball against Brevin Coleman. Now a double team, stolen. Oh, he picked his pocket. Left of the lane, going in, was looking for Bova. Bova has to save it because Bova stopped his movement going to the basket. If he did, he would have had an easy bucket on that left side, but he was looking for that triple try on the outside. Eagles with a 48-30 lead, turning the ball over to Philly MCS. Coleman trying again, ball loose underneath, and the pass to Hadir Boswell, who picks up his first 2 points of the game. 48-32, St. Ed's. Grant in the lane, kicking it over to Bova. Thought about the three, stops. And we're going to get Bova on the push-off. Bova picking up his first foul. 48-32, the lead is cut down to 16 with 2:49 to go. Not as crisp of a third quarter for the Eagles as it was in the first half, as Zion Freer-Brown checks in for Cam Grant. Grant playing a very good game underneath the boards with the big boys from Philly MCS. Here comes MCS left to right, bringing up the basketball is Kevin Carter. Carter getting it off over to Hamid Sneed. Sneed falls, stolen. Here comes Bova. Bova right of the lane. That should have been basket interference, but he gets the basket. Bova with a basket, 13, 50-32. Eagles getting a turnover. That's been the big key tonight. Boswell couldn't get it, but then kisses one off the box and in. He's got 4. 50-34, quickly down the floor. Eagles with the basketball. Bova on the right side, nice pass going in to Solomon. He got hammered there as there was a collision in the paint, and Philly MCS comes out of the pack. Carter with a basketball. Going up against Dayon Solomon. Carter against Solomon. Behind the back dribble, lost the handle, regained it. Trying to get through in the paint, underneath to the big man. Boswell bounces away, throws it up, no good. Rebounded by Lavelle. Off to Z. Z with 16 in the first half, quiet in the second half. Solomon comes in and nails a three-pointer. 53-34 with a buck and a 20 to go for the Eagles with the lead in the third quarter. And the foul. And the foul, I believe, is going to go on Solomon. And it does. His first of the game for the 6'2 senior. Jair Knight and Miles Reynolds checks in. Griffin. Coleman checks out along with Bova. 1:15 to go. On the trigger of the inbound is Asim Burton, right of the basket. He'll get it off to Poplar, up top to the big man Crawley, who checks back in. Crawley with 9 points in the game. There's a loose ball picked up by Miles Reynolds on the mishandle of the dribble, and a reach there by number 23, Nair Poplar, his second foul of the ball game. And that is the third team foul. Team fouls in the game, 3 for MCS, 2 for St. Ed's. Inbounding the ball will be Solomon underneath. Reynolds had it in the paint. Turnaround, partially knocked away. And last touched by the Elephants of MCS, and St. Ed's will have the basketball left of the lane with 59.2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Adam Mendoza along with you on the Eagles Sports Network. Glad to have you along here. Reynolds on the inbound to trigger. Jair Knight comes in with a wham slam on the inbound. He brought the hammer down. Eagles with a 55-34 lead. What a beautiful play. They set that up. 55-34 on the drive, and Knight comes in with a rejection. He gets the slam dunk, then comes up with a rejection. Back-to-back plays by Jair Knight. He is a Skywalker. Down to 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Crawley had it. Goes into the corner. Crawley back. He hit another open three. Missed that one. And Zaire Freer-Brown coming in with a rebound off to Miles Reynolds. Solomon three. Got it from the sideline. He has 6, 2 threes in the game, 58-34. Eagles putting the pressure with 6 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Ball loose on the dribble by Burton, and it's a steal. Half-court shot, just missing by Jair Knight. So the Eagles with a 58-34 lead as they outscore Philly MCS 18-14 in that third quarter, which was highlighted by the alley-oop slam dunk to Jair Knight, and then he came back with a block shot on the defensive side as the Eagles go into the fourth quarter and the final 8 minutes with a 58-34 lead. Zion Freer-Brown still leading the Eagles with 16 points. No points in the second half. Michael Bova with 13. Reynolds with 9. Knight with 7. Grant with 3. Solomon with 6 with 2 threes. Danahay with 5 and a 3. And Zion Freer-Brown with 16 in the ball game. Eagles led it 23-9 at the end of 1. 40-20 at the end of 2. and they lead it after 3, 58-34. .24 lead for St. Ed's as we hit towards the final 8 minutes of this ball game. On the floor for the Eagles, Solomon, Reynolds, Knight, Brown, and Lavelle. Philly MCS with a basketball to start quarter number 4. Eagles going into a zone defense, kicking it on the outside over to Griffin. The 371-42 at the end of the ball game as St. Ed's wins this one 71-42. They'll take on the winner of Canisius or Cathedral Prep. We'll have that game for you tomorrow night. I believe that game will be at 7:30. The first game is at 6. So about 7:30. Just check Twitter for the update as St. Ed's wins it in rousing fashion, 71-42. They go to 11-4 in the BK Classic, looking for title number 4. For Christopher Mendoza working this camera tonight, I'm Adam Mendoza. Once again, Eagles win 71-42. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from Erie, Pennsylvania. Have a great night, everybody.